Good afternoon. It's 10 minutes after 5. It's a nice, chilly, comfortable 90 degrees. A couple of hours ago, I was sitting here just really not in a good mood because I was checking my bank account and tallying up the fact that I have almost nothing, wasn't going to make it to the end of this month, not anyway comfortable, and I was thinking that I really can't even afford to bathe tonight. And I've got a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Although I look clean, I am clean, and we'll be odor free. But I'll get to the point. And I'm sitting here and I'm going like, how am I going to make this work? Because I know that by like Wednesday, I'll be out of cigarettes. That means I got to buy at least one or more days worth of cigarettes. That's $11.50 now or something. And I thinking like, where am I going to get food? Because it's costing me $8 to go to Walmart and back. I was working on all that. And sure as shit, well, I'm right in my bank app. Young man walks up bearing 2 bags of food, which I did not reject, and because immediately, because it would have been rude. And number 2, yeah, actually I got that one cantaloupe, and then I was looking at, that's the point I was about to make, was that I knew that after that cantaloupe, if I wanted something tonight, I'd have to start cooking rice, which means I got to handle coconut oil, and when coconut oil gets on your clothing, that's a stain that ain't coming out. Now, I really don't, I'm stain free at the moment. I want to show up at the clinic as clean as possible, although I really don't have the energy, especially particularly my left shoulder is fucked. And if I wanted to bathe tonight, I would have to expend some of my few remaining pain pills and stuff. It would, and I don't have the water. I've been going through water like crazy. I had stockpiled it, but then recently I've been bathing every 3rd day and changing clothes and and then the other day I lost almost a gallon of water when my wheelchair tumped over. A girl came up from behind me and just scared the shit out of me. But with the first thing, she was trying to help me pick up stuff, but she also, first thing she did was hand me a $5 bill. But I want to thank Jacoby, who's apparently not a Christian, because I could tell by the markings that he was a Hindu in search of enlightenment. And he got some teachings from an old man who respects his culture. And I just now remembered the name that I forgot. It's Ramanujan. I was telling him about Dr. Chandrasekhar and Dr. Ramanujan, because the Hindu people, they're Caucasians, have produced some of the greatest minds on this planet. I just named a couple of them. Chandrasekhar was an astrophysicist, and Ramanujan was one of the most incredible mathematicians who was never fully appreciated, and they lost most of his Cambridge or whatever, lost most of his papers. There's not much remaining. I mean, the guy was highly prolific. But Jacoby came up, brought me, he got him from 7-Eleven, but he actually picked out, and I'm at the point where I've got my cantaloupe safely hanging in a tree so a rat can't get at it, so I don't end up having to cut, like a quarter of it off to, So things went from looking really bleak, and he handed me 2 $20 bills. They're in my wallet. I got $1.20 in there. That was what I was expecting to spend probably on cigarettes and a gallon of water for just cooking rice. And I'd probably, and maybe there would be enough for me to go to Walmart one more time and get one decent meal, which actually I just ate a Tasty, although it had a little bit of heat in it. But the great thing is I got in exchange, in return, I got to teach him, and he put it in his phone, and you could tell he was really absorbing it got to work because he was still not sure. He just kind of came out of nowhere. he said he sees me here all the time. I am here all the time. But for 2 hours, I got to teach him a lot of things, and I got to diagnose him. He does have a very, in his OD, in his right eye, he's actually only has about a 0.1 to 1 cup to disc ratio, and in his left eye, in his sinister orbit, and he's only got about a 0.05 to 1. He's got minor, but he's got some astigmatism. And I've warned him, it's, feels good to teach, but also as soon as he left and stuff like that. And I gave him back there was a big bag of Lay's potato chips and stuff like that because of the palm oil. He just said, if there's anything that you're not going to eat, just let me, because he doesn't believe in wasting food. He's a natural ectomorph. He has an advantage over a lot of people in the frankenfood area, is that it won't show immediately. He's the type like my ex-wife that is very difficult for him to gain weight. He's already on, but I've warned him also about the toxicity of spices too. That curry is not ideal, And he tries to be vegetarian, but I told him you need to go ovo-lacto and stuff because you need that omega-6. You can get it from eggs or chicken skin. Chicken skin is one of the richest sources. You don't need a lot of it, but you need it, and need it regularly. You need it really on a daily basis. Eating yourself a couple of eggs a day, no harm in that. And then educated him to the fact that almost all plants have chemical defenses, and that pure veganism is it's not what they say it is. It's a horrible way to. So anyway, at the last minute, a non-Christian pulled my ass out of the fire, while the Christians have been pretty much stonewalling me this entire month. I think actually of the local donations I got, the largest one, he's never expressed any kind of religious orientation. He knows who he is. He sent me some $25 for Cash App. And so while the Christians are stonewalling me and stuff, it actually turned out to be a Hindustani that came and really pulled my ashes out of the fire today, or whatever you want to call it. And I enjoyed every minute of it because I got to teach him a little about food chemistry, and especially about those evil aspirin-like drugs and garlic. So I hope and he put it into his phone, and he was just amazed. And I actually, we had a discussion about THCA and all this other stuff, and told him that nope, it's all about the Delta-9, baby. It's all these bogus products that are on the market, this stuff, because they're available for sale in shops around here. I did tell him there was one shop that was selling the real stuff, but they clearly had a change of ownership in the last year. I don't think it's available, and I only know one person, and I don't want to abuse her generosity because she kept giving it to me for free. And the stuff ain't free, not to her. And I just have to try to achieve synthesis primarily through diet and through mood and my religious practices. Because that's the objective, as I told him, of all the major religions of this planet, except for one. You know what I'm talking about. The moon worshipers. The objective of religion is to synthesize arachidonyl ethanolamide. And I'm going to end it here under 10 minutes. I want to say a big thanks to Jacoby for coming out of nowhere and not only bringing me, actually that sandwich was delicious. And I got other goodies here, and I already drank a quart of Gatorade, while Gatorade ain't normally on mine. This is an exception. And he spent a lot of money. I don't think he's rich. He gave me $40. That's a lot. It made all the difference. made all the difference. God bless you, Jacoby.